you've ever begun to start questioning things, could be little thoughts, little sort of passing ideas in your mind as you're going through your day-to-day life, then you are beginning to sort of learn there is more out there, and that is the start of the journey. Don't hold back. Question more. There has always got to be more to what's going on, and that's where your journey will begin. There are no coincidences in this world, and this is something that I knew even when I didn't know what was going on. I knew that I believed that things happen for a reason. I've had a lot of difficult times through my life, but every difficult time has led me somewhere, and that's why I was never it never got me down. I took it and walked with it, because I began to realize that each step of the journey you were being guided to the next. Every problem, every traumatic event you go through is something to learn from and become stronger, and your journey or your experience will increase. Don't dwell on the past. Think about what it is and what the result has become of that issue, and take it and roll with it, and you'll be amazed at where it goes to.
In the Oval Office today, the tense confrontation, President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
Up next, another Oval Office meltdown. President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
President Trump is being accused of conducting something of a diplomatic ambush of South Africa's president in the Oval Office.
To be with you, I'm Katie Tur. President Trump orchestrated another Oval Office ambush today.
Today, Donald Trump meeting with the president of South Africa and attempting to ambush and humiliate that leader.
Zelensky territory, where essentially he was a bit ambushed inside the Oval Office.
Felt like an ambush in there, kind of like the President Zelensky meeting in the Oval Office.
This was an ambush. It was orchestrated.
Cyril Ramaphosa brought his best diplomatic self to this meeting, but nothing could have prepared him for this multimedia ambush.
What started as, to some degree, an ambush.
Well, Katie, I mean, it was an ambush.
Ambush.
Ambushed.
Ambush.
An ambush.
Ambushing.
Ambushed inside the Oval Office.
Really, I can't understand Sir Ramaphosa. Now, he changed the tune. I'm telling you that Sir Ramaphosa, when Julius Malema said that kill the boy, kill the farmer, he clapped hands. Remember that? I say that. Listen to this president. But if the white people, they can say that we are going to kill all these black people, definitive, those who sing that song, white people, they are going to be arrested. Now, Donald Trump, he said, arrest this person. Why you can't arrest this person? Now today, because he's scared for Malema, he said, no, we've got constitution, we've got everything here in South Africa. No, South Africa. 90% of white people in South Africa, 2025, today is the 27th May, they are going to be killed more and more and more. As the president, he said that, and he's the one that he denied the farm killing. Remember that. And today, he said, no, he can't arrest Julius Malema. Whereas the court is saying, it is not a hate speech. Yeah, South Africa, I don't know what's going to happen. But let me tell you, we will keep fighting. Donald Trump will come to you in White House. Not those delegates, the fake delegates, including the president. They went there for nothing, for their benefit. Thank you.
For us. And when it comes to the issues of arresting anyone for any slogan, that is a sovereign issue. It's not a matter where we need to be instructed by anyone that go and arrest this one. We are a very proud sovereign country that has its own laws, that has its own processes, and we take into account what the Constitutional Court also decided when it said that, that slogan, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, is a liberation chant and slogan. And it's not meant to be a message that elicits or calls upon anyone to go and be killed. And that is what our court decided. So they will probably want to arrest people willy-nilly. We follow the dictates of our constitution because we are a constitutional state and we are a country where freedom of expression is the bedrock of our constitutional arrangements.
Therefore, whether I'm arguing for and or against a certain race group, it doesn't matter. It leaves the situation open and vulnerable to that kind of manipulation, right? And so then it's not a system that, and there's no country that should be run the way we are running this country. There's no country, for instance, on the tax issue. You can't have literally a government that literally wakes up and decides we're going to increase taxes or we are not going to correct the issue of the tax bracket and therefore ignore, inflation and all other things that impact.
Will be so easily offended by white people and their comments and hold them to account. We'll mobilize. We'll march to the streets. We'll march to an Oranje. But the same politicians and leadership structures that are stealing our money, we won't march against them. We won't hold them to account. They don't say the words to insult us as a people, as black people, but they'll steal from us as black people. They'll lie to us as black people. They'll not answer our questions for those of us who do ask questions as black people. They won't do that. We won't hold them to account. And they distract us so beautifully by mentioning the legacies of apartheid that we just completely forget and we just let them get away with anything. Forget white people. Just, if you're thinking about white people, just put them to the side. Forget them. Let's just talk as black people. How are we holding our leadership accountable? I want a better future for my kids. I want a safer street for my descendants. That's the Africa that I want to build. The South Africa that I want to build. What are we doing to support local business? What are we doing to make sure that if someone is elected, we make sure that whoever's answering to them and they're on the street level with us, they will make sure that our communities are safe. They will make sure that our schools are doing good projects that will help our kids be better and compete when they're heading into the job space, the workspace. How are we holding these people to account?
Sometimes when I look at these people, I wonder what is it they're laughing at, because it's such an embarrassment to South Africans and to Africa as a whole. President Cyril Ramaphosa is the biggest beneficiary of BBBE. He's the biggest beneficiary of BEE policy and legislation. Cyril Ramaphosa. He has made so much money that when people steal from him, from money that he has put in sofas or whatever in his house, he doesn't call the police because he doesn't really care. The biggest beneficiary from BBBE. So now that he's made enough money, he's like, okay, let's bring on the next one. So now that he's done, he's like, come Bas Elon, come J Bas Elon, let's come and make money in South Africa. Without even creating jobs. Elon is not going to create jobs in South Africa. It's illegal for his company to create jobs in South Africa. They're bounded by US legislation. He cannot. SpaceX cannot hire people outside of the United States because of the legislation. It's also remotely operated, so they cannot really create those jobs. This is the president of the ANC, the president of our country. He has made so much money from BE. So instead of looking at how it's been implemented and correcting it from inside, from his political party that has been in power for 30 years, he's like, let's ease up on those laws because I've made enough money. The president of the oldest liberation movement in Africa, this is what he does. This is what he does. Our president, look at how he's looking at Elon. Elon is just like this damn African fool. Don't worry. That's why Elon probably bought Twitter. Because Cyril has done nothing to debunk all the lies. All he has done is just flown to Washington with a bunch of white men. White men that did not even caucus prior to the meeting. All there for their own personal opinions. The leader of the oldest liberation movement in Africa. This is what he does. Ease up on laws to help Africans take part in the economy, because really the fight is about the economy, nothing else. It's about ideology and the economy, actually. Yeah.
When we fix South Africa.
When we fix South Africa.
If we fix South Africa.
That's hope over experience.
Dink jy we need to start looking at a plan, like a plan B,
like build Noah's Ark.
in case it doesn't work, do you think we need to look at a plan B right now?
Hey, what would plan B be?
Exit strategy.
Well, I've got an exit strategy.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I can leave tomorrow. but I'm not going to leave. I'm never going to leave. I love it here. I'm never going to leave.
But now, I'm talking about the run-of-the-mill person who doesn't have access to the millions. Must they start looking at a plan B, an exit strategy?
For their children, yes. I've always said, and people don't like me saying it, but for someone that has their matric or the university degree or some skills, it's not a bad thing to go overseas for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. You get experience, you make contacts, you make money, and then come back. And you bring back with you money, experience, contacts, international vision. It's fantastic for the country. But I think it would be remiss for young people not to at least try and spend some time overseas, wherever. It doesn't have to be America, it could be Argentina, Japan. Build that experience, come home, bring that experience home. Because we have to fix this country. It's not the young people's responsibility.
We've reached a point where we must recognize that the real source of our problems isn't us, but a small group of politicians. They thrive on division and hate, manipulating our fears for their own gain. While we, the people, are capable of coming together, they profit from our discord. Imagine if we united our voices, raised our opinions with strength and clarity. We could dismantle their power and demand a world where cooperation replaces conflict. It's time to hold them accountable and reclaim our future. Together, we can turn the tide and create a society that truly reflects our shared values.
So many adventures couldn't happen today. So many songs we forgot to play. So many dreams swinging out of the blue.
In a heartbreaking case, a South African mother has been sentenced to life plus 10 years for trafficking her own 60-year-old daughter, Jocelyn, for just about $1,000. This shocking betrayal of trust has left the community reeling. Alongside her boyfriend and a friend, both received the same harsh sentence. What's even more chilling? Jocelyn has been missing since February 2024. The court revealed that the mother manipulated facts and showed no remorse, painting a grim picture of a mother's love twisted into something unrecognizable. This tragedy raises urgent questions about child safety and the depths of human betrayal.
Announce the sentences at the same time, because your sentences are the same. I'm not going to draw any distinction, even though Mr. Van Ryn has previous convictions and you, Mr. Apollos and Ms. Smith, does not have. On the human trafficking charge, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. On the kidnapping charge, you are sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. Because I've imposed life imprisonment, there is no need for me to rule on the concurrency of the sentences, because by operation of law, it will be served concurrently.
Do you know what love is?
I do. About helping people.
Yeah.
And being kind.
Okay.
That's love.
Okay. I like that. Who do you love?
I love my friend Ray, because he's so nice to me.
When do you feel loved?
When someone hugs me and when I'm not lonely.
Hmm? When you're not lonely and someone hugs you?
And when I hug myself.
You hug yourself? Do you think it's important to hug yourself?
Yeah.
You know that hugging yourself is helpful?
Yeah, but not helpful, but it makes me feel relaxed.
Makes you feel relaxed. Can you show me how you hug yourself? That's what we call self-love, right?
Yeah.
That's important, right?
As I watch a young child express love so freely, I can't help but wonder why adults struggle with the same. Children embrace their feelings without fear, showing us that love starts with self-acceptance. Yet, as we grow, we often lose that instinct, getting caught up in expectations and self-doubt. It's crucial to protect our children's ability to love themselves. Teach them that it's okay to be vulnerable, to celebrate their uniqueness. If we nurture their hearts, maybe we can learn to love ourselves again too. Let's create a world where love is as natural as breathing for both the young and the grown.
From, Joe Kiernan and Rick Santelli, this just came out, and we'll just play that for a second.
Personal income is up 0.8%. That is almost triple the expectations. I'll tell you that the income numbers, really, for the first 4 months of the year, they're stellar. They're really stellar. I mean, I could go back and look at the first 4 months of many different years. Really very strong numbers, and you're right. This administration is criticized for just about everything under the sun. I've never, ever in my lifetime had glimpses into the politics of an administration in the form of transparency like this one. Why don't we be, give credit where credit is due. Income really shooting up.
Rick, I also thought everybody was going to get one last order of imports that were going to be tariffed, and they were loading up on things. How the hell did they already fix the trade, or not fix it, but to cut it in half? That's crazy. So there wasn't a lot of front loading of things that they needed before the tariffs hit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it really does call into question some of the conventional wisdoms. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next month when we get this number, or we see some of the other numbers like current account, see how they fared. Because I don't know, I've been watching these numbers a long time. I don't think I've ever seen the trade deficit cut in half in 1 month.
Not bad. Right? Not bad.
Come on, guys.
As of June 2025, BRICS is on the rise, welcoming new members like Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the UAE, and Indonesia. Brazil is gearing up to host the 17th BRICS Summit, tackling pressing issues like climate change, AI, and trade reform. India is championing deeper cooperation in startups and ethical AI, while pushing to eliminate trade barriers. The bloc is also rolling out BRICS Pay to lessen our dependence on the US dollar. Yet, challenges linger, like Saudi Arabia's cautious stance, even as we all share a vision for economic reform and climate leadership. The future of global governance is being reshaped right before our eyes.
The Trinity has shifted, and we're witnessing a global reset in slow motion. In 2016, Trump's election ignited a new era. By 2017, his meeting with Pope Francis merged faith and power, while in 2018, he walked ahead of Queen Elizabeth, signaling a subtle shift in protocol. Fast forward to 2020, Brexit shattered the old order, and in 22, the death of Queen Elizabeth marked the end of an era. Now, as Trump eyes a return in 2024, the landscape is charged. With Pope Francis gone and Cardinal Prevost as the first American pontiff, we see a convergence of spiritual and political influence. This isn't just change. It's a blueprint for a financial, religious, and military political reset. The world stands on the brink of something epochal as three sovereign strongholds pivot under a singular narrative: order through disruption.
Did you guys see what happened between Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, and his wife, the first lady? It seems like they were fighting and it was caught on tape. Here it is. They just arrived in Vietnam when this happens. So at first, Emmanuel Macron's office denied the authenticity of images from this incident, but eventually they admitted that it was, in fact, real, but said it wasn't a fight or anything like that. It was, quote, a moment of closeness. It seems like they're downplaying this, but it seems very obvious that they were fighting.
Imagine a world where everything feels like one big movie with plot twists happening daily. Just look at the recent episode with the French president and his wife. Talk about a scene straight out of a comedy. It's a reminder that even amidst chaos, humor can shine through. We can laugh at the absurdity around us and find joy in the little things. So, let's embrace that spirit. Together we can build a better world, one laugh at a time. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep smiling.
Oh my word. Did you see the air hostess's shoulder? It was torn right through. I mean, how does that even happen? One moment she's serving drinks, and the next, she's got this massive tear in her uniform. It's like something out of a movie.
Ah, oui, vous qui m'humiliez sur les réseaux comme TikTok, je vais vous faire la guerre. Bon, tout compte fait, c'est pas plus mal. Oui, je me suis pris une grosse tarte par Brigitte pour deux raisons. D'abord, elle a pris trop de testostérone. Elle a pris 2 doses de testo au lieu d'une seule. Et quand c'est comme ça, elle est ingérable. À côté, Poutine, c'est un ange. Je vous le dis franchement. Deuxième, c'est qu'elle m'a cramé, en train d'offrir une rose à l'hôtesse de l'avion. Elle m'a vu alors que je pensais qu'elle dormait, après qu'on se soit envoyé en...
Merde.